I have a game collecting addiction. I'm part of a group called Gameaholics Anonymous. Very serious. It's ruining my life. But you know what? I have a goal, and my goal is to collect over 9,000 retro games. 9,000 games in general. And I'm not going to stop at 9,000 either. I'm not going to stop until I'm dead. I have 13 Xbox 360 games today. We're doing an all 360 special edition game pickups episode, and I've got one bonus at the end. And there's a couple of treats that I'm going to save for the end. And I'm going to tell you all the game. I'm going to show you all the games I got, and I'm going to tell you why I got each game because there's a reason. There's a method to my madness. I am an insane, legally insane retro game collector. But there is a method to my madness. A method to my madness. So what do we want to start with? You know what? We're going to start off strong. Cursed Crusade. This is an Atlas title that to this day, not very many people know about. It's an action RPG type of game. Now, it does have its flaws. It's not a perfect game. Far from it. But it's still a great game, and it's heavily underrated. I dare I say hidden gem. It is not an exclusive, so it is on the PS3. It's still cheap, at least the 360 version is, or at least last time I checked, it was. You used to be able to get it for about $15 Canadian. I'm not sure what the current price is. The PS3 one is probably more expensive. Pick this one up today if you don't already have it, because this is an Atlas title. And the vast majority of Atlas titles do very well price-wise. And did I mention it's a hidden gem? Okay, we start off strong. Now, let's go through a title that I always mention, and I now own like 4 or 5 copies because I'm legally insane. Did I mention that? Did I mention I'm legally insane? Blur for the Xbox 360. This is basically Mario Kart, but with real cars. And it is a hidden gem, and it's underrated, and the price is going up in value. And the reason I keep picking Blur up is because I keep finding it for cheap. Racing games that have a lot of value, you can typically find in the wild for fairly cheap. Or you can find them being auctioned off for cheap. You can find them at pawn shops for cheap because people don't generally look up the value of racing games. They're often overlooked because most of them aren't worth anything. So I brought these 2 copies up in particular for a reason. This is Blur for the Xbox 360. Real cars, real racing. Just like any awesome racing game out there, Project Gotham Racing, whatever. It's a great racing game, but it's like Mario Kart because there's power-ups. But something caught my eye recently that I didn't notice before, and I only just picked it up. There is a copy floating around with this BMW code, Chrome BMW code inside. So I have 2 of this new version. This particular one is missing the code, but I have another one that does have the code. There is a real code, but it's a code. It's not a DLC code. It tells you how to do it. So what I don't know is if the same code can be used on the regular version, or if this CD is actually physically different from this one. And I'm trying to find out where this one came from. Is this a Walmart exclusive, a Target exclusive? EB Games, GameStop exclusive. Generally, when there's unique stuff like that, they were some sort of exclusive. And I haven't found the answer yet. So if anyone knows, please leave a comment below. Because there are two versions of Blur running around out there. And I'm telling you, this one is going to be worth a lot of money. Blur is not a cheap game, and it's an easy sell. So the reason I have 5 or 6 copies is because this is easy money. This is easy profit for me. And also I want to keep one of each of the variants now that I know there's two. There's 2 variants floating around. So that's a really interesting game. You'd really need to keep an eye out for that one. Here's one that still has the price sticker on it. I paid $3 at pawn shop. Splinter Cell Conviction. I previously sold this because I picked it up in one of my previous pickup videos, and I sold the console with a bunch of games for the same price that I paid for it, and I took out all the rare ones. That's how you do the best collecting. You find local sellers on Marketplace, Kijiji, Craigslist that the sellers don't know that they have rare games. You take out the rare games, you resell it. Same price you paid. But the reason I rebought this is, one, it was $3 Canadian, and two, I wanted this game back because I didn't know that this was 2-player co-op. Splinter Cell Conviction is a 2-player co-op in the campaign. You can do the campaign. Work in tandem with your teammate or engage in one of 4 co-op battle modes. So the fact that this is 2-player co-op, I'm in. That's all I need to hear. I'm in. Count me in. You guys know I like my co-op games. See if the camera will pick it up. You know I like my co-op games. I'm always on the hunt for hidden gems and co-op. Now this one here I also got because I found it. It also has co-op. 2-player co-op. Kane and Lynch Deadman. I've never played it. I've never had any interest in this game before. I think it's like maybe similar to Grand Theft Auto. I know it's popular. Like, it sold really well. I don't think this is going to go up in value. Certainly won't. Probably pay $2 or $3 for it. But it's got co-op. 2-player co-op. I guess one person is Kane, the other guy's Lynch. Same console. Perfect Dark Zero. I think I already own this, to be honest. Probably got it because it's cheap and it could be trade bait. My camera broke there, but yeah, long story short, Perfect Dark. Any game that you ever see, if it says Perfect Dark, it's automatically good and you should buy it. End of story. Next game is a very underrated gem, Xbox 360 exclusive, that does not get the respect it deserves. It is not a bad game. I don't care what review you read or saw, or even if you played the game, it's not a bad game. Velvet Assassin. This is a stealth game similar to Metal Gear Solid, but it's a little bit darker, a little bit more realistic than Metal Gear Solid as well, and it follows a World War II plot based on a real life character. The story is inspired by a real life spy, a real life agent. And in this game, you control a main character's name is Violet Summer, and she's a World War II British spy. Okay. Great game. I'm not going to give it up. So here's the thing about this game, though. It's not the best. I'll be lying to you if I said this was like the greatest stealth game ever made. And by the way, if I didn't mention it, it's a stealth game. But it does have a great story. Okay, and I'm big into the stories. I like a good story. If you if you don't have a good story, you're going to have a hard time keeping my interest. For most games.
Even though large tracts of Europe and many old and famous states have fallen, or may fall into the grip of the Gestapo, and all the odious apparatus of Nazi rule, we shall not flag or fail. We shall go on to the end. We shall fight in France. We shall fight on the seas and oceans. We shall fight with growing confidence and growing strength in the air. We shall defend our island, whatever the costs may be. We shall fight on the beaches. We shall fight on the landing grounds. We shall fight in the fields and in the streets. We shall fight in the hills. We shall never surrender.
Dead Space 3. Nothing too special about this one other than it does work with the Kinect sensor bar, which I would really love to try one day. Oh, crap. Yeah, I dropped the game. It's 2 discs. The other disc is gone. Forgot if I showed you Velvet Assassin. Yeah, I can see the other disc. It's on the floor. Now here's one that I got kind of ripped off on, but not really. Auto Medius Excellent. I've never played it. Don't know if I pronounced it right. Auto Medius, maybe. This is a shooter game, Konami shooter. It is going up in value. I think there's a limited edition version. It's worth a lot more. I don't have that version, but this version is sealed. With one exception. One, it has some marker on it, but number 2, there's a tear in the bottom, so it's not really sealed. A little bit beat up. But I paid $11 Canadian for it. I might just try to sell it on eBay and say it's sealed with a tear and see if I can make a profit. Because it's that or I open it. It's a double or a triple for me, maybe a quadruple. And by the way, part of the reason why this game is so popular, I'm fairly certain this is a 360 exclusive as well, by the way. But part of the reason this game is so popular is, 1, it's an awesome shooter. 2, it was inspired by Gradius. But number 3, it's 3 freaking players. Most shooters are 2 players. This is a 3-player co-op shooter. I don't even know if I've ever seen a 3-player co-op shooter. I really don't. Up to 3 players simultaneous play. Okay? So that's a must buy if you don't already own it. Okay, we're getting down to the wire here. I'm going to show you 3 at once. Battle for the Pacific, History Channel. The History Channel made 4 games for the 360. I think 2 of them are exclusives to the 360, not the PS3. Battle for Pacific is not exclusive. All of the History Channel games are underrated. They're definitely not great games, but they were overshadowed by the best of the best. Games like your Halos and your Call of Duties. All of those games outshined these games. But you can learn real history in these games. They have real videos of actual historical footage. You learn some real educational history while you play the game. Now, Battle for the Pacific is probably the worst of the History Channel games. There's another one here called Civil War Secret Missions. This is probably the better of the 2 Civil War games. The other one is just straight up Civil War. I forget the name. Divide the Nation, maybe? Let's look it up real quick. I'll tell you in a minute. History Channel. Civil War, A Nation Divided. Okay, so this one is Secret Missions. And these games aren't bad. These are actually fairly decent for what they are. Okay, these games don't get the respect they deserve. And you will learn about real history. History Channel don't mess around, guys. They're not playing when it comes to these games. Now, this one here I have it's a little bit beat up cover-wise, has some water damage, as you can see. Great Battles Medieval. Title is complete garbage. But you know what? I actually think that these games might command some pretty good value in the future. No, they're not going to be $500 games. This is not a $500 game. But it is unique enough, and I highly doubt they had huge print runs for these History Channel games. And I can just about guarantee you right now that these games were ignored. What kid goes into EB Games or GameStop and says, hello, sir, I'd like your finest History Channel game so that I can learn all about the Civil War? Because when you go into GameStop and you see a History Channel game, you instantly think that it's edutainment. And you instantly think that it's going to be low quality. And you know what? If that's what you were thinking, you're partially correct. It is edutainment. And it is basically low quality when comparing it to a AAA title. So it's probably it was just parents buying these games back in the day. Although, hey, I'll admit one thing, okay. Back in the day, I would have bought this because I'm a sucker for anything medieval, and this is like a Total War ripoff. And I friggin' love me some Total Frickin' War. Shogun Total War, that was a good game. All the Total War games are good. Okay, final game here. I'm gonna show you something that you've never seen before. And it's going up in value, and it's a hidden gem. But hear me out first. I have with me here Bourne Conspiracy, the Bourne Conspiracy, based on the movie. Alright, so I am having some storage issues with the PC here, but we were talking about Jason Bourne Conspiracy. Or the Bourne Conspiracy. Based on the movie. Awesome hidden gem. This ain't no low budget game. This game went all out. If this was under any other name, you would think it was a AAA title. Okay? Stealth type of game. Little bit of stealth. Like James Bond Bloodstone 007 type of game. But here's the kicker. Okay, you commonly see this out there. Commonly see it out there. Sierra game, by the way. They make great games. Publish great games. Commonly see that, but and hold on. And this you would think that here it is. Bourne Conspiracy complete in box. You're a collector, you say, "Hey, I got Bourne Conspiracy, I'm good to go. Look, I got the manual, I got the case, I got the game. I'm good to go." Well, you're a hardcore collector, you ain't good to go. You are not good to go because did you know that there's this other version floating around that comes with a coupon for the DVD coupon, DVD cash? What kind of variant this is or where this came from, I don't know. Is it a Walmart exclusive? I don't know. Well, inside, there's a coupon. You do not have this complete in box if you do not own this coupon right here. $10 off the movie. Fortunately, it is expired. $10 off the movie. So, if you want this game complete in box, you are a legally insane collector. You need this version. And I've never seen it before, so I don't think it's too common. So I thought that was really interesting. And I just kind of noticed that recently I own 3 copies of this game, and this is the newest one that came in. And I noticed the coupon. I said, "Holy crap!" And to actually have the coupon, most of those coupons probably either got one, they got used, or two, they ended up in the trash can. So that coupon might be rare. Now, I haven't checked eBay yet, but I'm not selling mine. You want my coupon? You write me a check right now, $500. 500 American dollars. I don't accept Canadian dollars. I'm Canadian, but I will not accept Canadian dollars. Anyways, guys, if you enjoyed this video and you enjoy this type of content, may I recommend you subscribe to the channel and help me get to over 9,000 subscribers. Every subscriber I get helps me to get to my goal of owning over 9,000 games. And if you want to see me fill this entire apartment with games to the point where the building management throws me out of here and calls me a hoarder for living in basically a trash-filled apartment, then be my guest. Help me get there.